Welcome back to KitScy. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own like little seed pods. So if you've gone to like the garden center or like Walmart or Home Depot, and then back in the garden area, since we were gardening last year, you'll find these seed trays, but instead of having the whales like the one we did last year, you'll see they have these little brown discs. And what I'm going to do is show you how to kind of make those at home. Not necessarily the little pods, but how to have smaller growing systems at home. So I'm not going to plant the entire thing. I'm going to take a few out. And you can see they're little bitty discs here. And they remind you, if you saw the video before, the coconut core, where we had like a block of coconut core, put it in the water, and it swelled up, and we used that for our seed starting in our cups. So this is going to be very similar to that, but we're going to do it on a smaller scale. So with the cups, we were using, a little bit more dirt, and it kind of took a bit more space in your house. So you can get these little bitty containers. So these are Jell-O shot containers that you can get at Walmart. They're right next to the plastic party cups. And if you have one of my like sign kits, like some of the chemicals came in these containers, and everything can be rinsed out. So you can just rinse out the containers and then use these for planting. So let me get a container so I can rehydrate these little discs. And what I have here is a meal prep container. It's pretty much like a takeout container. So if you get like Chinese takeout, it comes in one of these little plastic containers. And our lid, I have a jar of water. So what you're gonna do, you want to soak these in water. So I'm gonna put it in a plastic lid so you can see it a little bit better. So I just have my little disc on the lid. But if you're at home, you can just like, you can just sit it in the water if you don't have a tray for it. So you can buy, like I have like the big tray back here, or you can buy these individually in a little box, and then you can just kind of stick them in your meal prep container. I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna stick 2 in here, then I'll get 2 more out. Put them here. So what they're going to do, they're going to absorb water. And they're going to puff up. Let's see if you can see that pop up. So again, if you don't have a meal prep container, but you have a jar, you can stick it in a jar. Alright. So I'm gonna move these to the side. So what I have here is some dirt from outside. So, and I have a video too about sterilizing your soil. So what I did, I went outside and got a shovel and scooped some dirt, put in a container, and then heated some water, my teapot, and just like put that hot water in here, put the lid on, and what that'll do, that'll hopefully kill off any little bug eggs, because this has been outside, so bugs are laying eggs in the dirt. And because I'm using this dirt inside, I don't want to have bugs hatching in my kitchen, and you don't either. So we have our dirt from outside. I've been putting fertilizer in this dirt, so it has little fertilizer beads and whatnot, and here's a leaf, so you know I got it from outside. So I'm gonna try to dig around our leaves. We're gonna not get too much water in there. We're just gonna fill our little shot glass containers with the dirt. These things are taking a nice little time to puff up. Step 1, 2. I don't really need the lids. The little beads you see right here, the little beads are from the fertilizer that I put in my dirt. So I do a lot of growing. You don't want it to be soppy wet either, so don't squeeze it out. You want it moist, but not like sopping wet. There we are. So now we have our own little homemade seed pods. And these other ones are still puffing up. So they will puff up. So I'll come back later when these are done. They're still puffing up. Let me go inside. But it takes them a while. So that'll help get it going. Get the bottom of the top of it wet too. So I'm just gonna fill these up. Let's see if we can do a little time lapse. All right. Hey, we're back. So the little pods have completely hydrated. I have water everywhere. So again, when you're dealing with dirt and water, make sure you have your paper towels. Because you're gonna make a little spill. Alright, wipe that up. So you can see here, they're fully hydrated. And we started off with these little discs, and we have this bigger pod here. So one thing about these pods is that the outsides will dry off, and they do have a tendency to mold a little bit on the outside of them. If you do decide to get these little pods here. So what I'm going to plant in these is because I'm going to plant sunflower seeds, corn, and green beans and okra. So each one will have a different thing in them. And the same thing with our pods. I'm popping another one in there so kind of even. And I'm doing these because the sunflowers, they grow really quickly. And also if you have my science kits, then you have sunflower seeds and corn in them for the same reason, just because it grows a little bit faster. So I'm gonna plop 2 seeds into each one. And the seeds are going to be on opposite sides just to make it easier to separate them out later on. And you want to make sure you label it. So we have our sunflower. This is going to be an okra. Corn. And our string beans. Okra germinates pretty quickly, so I'm going to do a video on homemade hydroponics, and I'll use okra with it right now. With it first, I guess. There's my okra, string beans. Now string beans, once you put those out into the yard, you'll need a trellis. So this means you need something for it to grow on. So if you have like some sticks or some wires, not wires, but you can use sticks to kind of make a platform for the vines to kind of grow on. You can grow them on a fence, so like fence wire, not like electrical wires. We have a corn. Again, they're going on opposite sides, just so it hopefully be a little bit easier to separate the roots out once they grow up. They're just covered over with dirt. And once these grow, you can see the roots in the cup because it's clear. So once it gets a little bit of root bound, then you can pull the entire thing up and it'll be like stuck together similarly to the way the pods are stuck together. So we're not truly making pods themselves, but once the roots grow, then you'll have like a solid structure from the root system. And these, I'm not going to label, but hopefully we'll be able to identify them by comparing them to the labeled ones. You have like a little mesh around it, so you can kind of break that mesh open. And one thing about growing in these little pods is that once you put them outside, these pods don't really break down. So the next year when you go outside to look in your garden and you dig it up, you're going to see those same little pods. And that doesn't bother you or anything, then it's fine. With the pods, you want to make sure to kind of make sure the seeds are covered. So you're going to poke the seeds inside of them, but you want to kind of mash around the top of it to make sure that the seeds are covered. And you're going to put these in a well-lit area. I have 2 extra little containers here, and these are for the seeds. Right back. These are for the seeds I got from the dollar store. So some seed packets will cost about $5 per seed packet, and that starts to get a little expensive. So if you don't want to spend that much money on seed packets, because we're doing everything, you know, as budget friendly as possible, then what you can do, you can go to the dollar store, so Dollar Tree or whatever kind of dollar store you have, and they'll have seeds for like 25 cents a packet. Like, you know, $4 or $4, so I just grabbed 4 of them. So these are Marigolds, Shasta Daisies, Cottage Garden, and some Sweet Williams. So I'm gonna plant some Marigolds. Let's open it from the bottom just so I can keep the name on it. So these are only 25 cents a packet. And the other ones can range from like $3 to like $5 to $6 a packet for seeds. And if you're just growing just to grow, then go ahead and get cheap seeds. If you're growing because you want to eat them, then get the vegetable seeds if you want to plant a real garden outside. So just again going to plop the seeds down into it. Got marigolds. And then our last seed pod, we're gonna pop the marigold seed in there. And the marigold seeds look like little sticks. I don't have dirt on my hands, but. You can see the marigold seeds look like little sticks. So you're gonna grab one of them and plop it right in. Just gonna pop it right in. Okay, so I'm gonna put these on my kitchen table because my kitchen table is right near the window, so it can have a good source of light. So here I have my marigolds from the dollar store, and it says 5 to 8 days to germinate. So within a week, I should see something happening here, just a little bit. Now you won't see, any stems yet, but maybe a little sprig of a root or something will show. So I'm gonna put these over on my kitchen table. It's near the window, and I also have a hydroponics set up over there, so it's gonna get some good light. Next video, I'm gonna show you how to do your own at-home hydroponics, including setting up your own light, your own grow light from like an overhead light, if you can find one of those on discount, instead of buying like the entire grow system. Sometimes when you go to the stores again during like the holidays, they'll have LED light sets like on clearance, so you can grab one of those and then make your own grow light system. So thanks for watching. Bye. Hey, welcome back. So it's been a week since we planted our pods, and I'm here to give you an update on our planting. Okay, so what we have here are sunflowers. So these are the ones that are grown in our Jell-O shot containers. So these are little Jell-O shot containers. And you can find those in Walmart in the same section where you would find the plastic party cups. And then these are the little pods from the garden section. And remember, they started off as little discs and now they're the larger pods. But you can see the sunflowers grew pretty quickly. So that's 1 week of growth for the sunflowers. Here we have our okra. The okra didn't do too well. Even in another planting, the okra took a little bit longer to germinate, but it depends on what type of seed you use. So you can see here that it is starting to grow. It just takes a while. Sunflowers grow really quickly, so that's why I included those in the little kits that I'm going to be giving out. So this is sunflower. These are the roots, and also the little white part at the bottom. Those are the roots. And sunflowers drink a lot of water, so I just watered this earlier today, and I'm gonna have to put some more water in there after I finish filming. So these are our string peas. So you can see in the little pod, it didn't really start growing yet, or in our homemade pod. But here, this is what it looks like as it starts to germinate, and you can see the roots are coming out the bottoms of them. So these I also make sure I keep in a lot of water. When you get ready to plant these outside, make sure you have something for them to grow on. So outside I have some garden fencing I bought a while back when it was on clearance, and I'm gonna plant my peas next to the garden fencing so that it can grow up. So it makes a lot of vines, and then the peas actually grow on the vines. And here we have our corn. So you can kind of see here at the bottom, those are the roots from the corn. And this is only like 1 week out, so you can see one of the roots kind of coming out the side of our little garden pod, and then 2 little shoots. So that's our corn. Remember, now these seeds right here were about $4 a packet at Lowe's. No, sorry, they were $2.50 a packet. So here are my marigolds, and they were planted at the same time as the vegetables. And these were only 4 for $1 from the dollar store. So you can also, plant flowers from the dollar store. So These are just some Marigold Sprouts, and the one I planted here hasn't sprouted yet. So you shouldn't expect 100% germination with the seeds. Just, you know, be happy if you get 70%. So if some don't pop up, that's okay. Just make sure you kind of overseed just a little bit. So I'm gonna put these back on the lights. I have a light on my kitchen table, and that's where I have all my plants growing. So make sure when you're growing these indoors, so right now it's winter time, that you have a lot of light, and the light is gonna be right kind of on top of it, as close as you can get it to the light. So that's it for today. Just remember, this is 1 week's worth of growth, so that's pretty good for 1 week. I have sunflowers that take, or some plants that take about 2 weeks or almost a month to germinate, depending on how much light and what's the temperature of the environment. So we have our corn here, and our sunflower seeds, and they usually do like really well. The marigolds, you can get these in like little kids kits, but it's cheaper to just kind of get them 25 cents from the dollar store. And if you have any old little containers around, you can go ahead and start them in the little containers. Using fertilizer helps, so if you can get some plant food, get it while it's on clearance, and make sure you dilute it according to the package, so you don't like kill your plants by overfeeding them, because you can overfeed plants just like you can overfeed people. Yep, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.